All right. They're going crazy in Britain. The government's in tatters. The prime minister has resigned, and Boris Johnson could be back. Let's check in with Jason Reed. He is the UK lead for Young Voices, and he joins us now. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. It's great to be with you.
So can you tell us what's going on in the UK, and is Boris Johnson going to actually be back?
That's a very good question, which lots of people in Westminster and London are asking right now. We will learn very soon over the weekend whether he has enough support to get onto the ballot paper next week in this accelerated leadership contest that we've got that's going to take a grand total of 7 days. It is very possible that he might just have enough support to make it to the online party members' vote next week. And if that happens, he's very popular among the grassroots of the party. So it's very possible that at this time next week, Boris Johnson could once again be Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
But didn't he resign too?
He did. He resigned just a few weeks ago, in fact, in disgrace. It's quite extraordinary we've got to this point. But I think there are lots of people who never wanted him to resign in the first place. He resigned, of course, over personality rather than policy. There were no big policy issues. It was just his character in government. So lots of people long for him back. I think it is still unlikely. I think it's likely that we will see Rishi Sunak, a former finance minister, will probably end up taking over instead. He's seen as a figure of stability, which Boris Johnson very much is not. And given the economic volatility in this country at the moment, and after all, that's the reason Liz Truss has had to resign after such a short time in office, I think stability is what most people want, and they will probably go for the safer option, which still, of course, leaves open the possibility of Boris Johnson coming back at some future date. And I'm sure he will make more attempts in future.
It sounds like buyer's remorse when it comes to Boris Johnson and Liz Truss, that they just want him back because they don't like what they had.
That's a very good point. Well, Liz Truss, the buyer's remorse set in almost immediately when she unveiled her economic policy agenda very quickly, very suddenly, without any official projections, without any costings. She unveiled a lot of spending and didn't say where the money would come from. And so it became clear very quickly that her policy would be impossible to actually implement it, and she lost authority almost immediately, which is why she has now become the shortest-serving Prime Minister in all of British history. And she had to fire her finance minister, who was a close ally, even though he just did what she told him to. So it's very much a lot of buyer's remorse going on. There's a lot of soul-searching that needs to happen in the governing Conservative Party in this country, which it seems likely will happen after the next election, which is going to happen in 2024, because the Conservatives are polling very, very badly indeed. And so it seems like they will be out of government, and they will have that period where they can ask some real existential questions and work out what kind of party they want to be.
All right, Jason, we're out of time. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Young Voices UK lead Jason Reed. 6:46, let's get an update on traffic.